What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot where you already know it's Real Talk Sports Talk. Live from my man cave, it's your boy Johnny, and let's continue to talk boxing because I'm about to drop part two of my conversation with the Maniac from Four Corners Boxing, and we are going to break down this Saturday night's exciting night of fights. So check it out now. Anyway, like I said, I am here with the Boxing Maniac from Four Corners Boxing, and we are going to transition to this weekend.
Ooh, let's talk about it.
That's what I wanted to hear right there, right on cue, my brother.
Let's talk
Saturday
about
night. Let's start in Puerto Rico,
Ooh.
our home island. Manatí, Puerto Rico. The 140-pound IBF champion, Subriel Matias, is making his, I want to say, is this his debut? Fighting in front of his home crowd as a champion?
As a champion, absolutely.
So we got Subriel Matias, who is 20-1 with 20 knockouts, meaning he has knocked out every opponent he's faced.
Correct.
In fact, that one loss was avenged by knockout, 100% knockout ratio. But he's facing a tough customer from Australia, Paro, who is also undefeated. Subriel is not undefeated, but Paro is undefeated. He is 24-0 with 15 knockouts, 62% knockout ratio. I think this is an interesting fight. I do. And just like any fighter who fights in front of his hometown crowd, there's an abundance of pressure. And then when you're Puerto Rican and you fight in front of your Puerto Rican home crowd, that to me, with the whole pride thing, like you said earlier, it kind of escalates. Is Matias ready to put on that performance that puts him in the top of the 140-pound, division? I mean, he claims that he's there already. He's the guy to beat. He's going to punish Paro. I saw some interviews this past week. But Paro's coming to win. And he likes the fact that people are not giving him a shot. Yeah. Nobody gave him a shot against Montana Love. And you saw what he did there.
Or he folded him. Oof.
What do you see with this fight?
Man, listen, first of all, man, I love this fight, right? Subriel Matias, fellow countryman. But you know, one thing I do, I keep it real, man. I like Subriel. I said he's a limited fighter, right? I've said it. The day he fights someone that can move and punch, he's gonna have trouble. Not saying he can't beat that kind of style because we haven't seen him in there yet. But just based on the eye test, right? Based on what I see, he's just come forward. He's a Puerto Rican that fights like a Mexican. Let's just call it like it is, right? The problem is, it's something in his power, bro, because it's unheard of. I think it's about 3 or 4 fighters in a row, maybe 5. That's quit on the stool, Johnny. On the stool. It's different, referee waving it off because you're taking punishment. He's breaking them down mentally. That means when you sit on that stool, you're like, nah, I can't do that no more. No, right here. I'm not going back out there. And that is like, I've never seen that. I've never seen that from any fighter. Let's be real. Right? I mean, someone enlighten me because I've never seen that.
The only fighter that I can say that I've seen that happen with is Lomachenko when he was in his prime.
Yeah, the
Nomaschenko. And a lot of that had to do with the frustration with not being able to touch this guy. I mean, he's going to hit you. He's going to hit you from different angles. He's going to embarrass you in the process. He's going to intimidate you. And when you go into that corner, you're like, I don't want no more. Now, the difference between him and Matias, obviously, is the style. I mean, Matias has come forward. He hits like a Mack truck. He just keeps applying that pressure. How am I going to keep this guy off me type pressure?
And this is what I say, right? You, like you mentioned, right? The pressure of headlining at home as a champion in front of your home crowd. A lot of the times, these performances end up being duds for these guys. Some, the brighter the lights, the better the performance, right? So we're going to see. Because like I said, Matias is being deemed at 140 the boogeyman of that division, right? But you know, the boogeyman, he's scary. Watch out. But come to find out, he might have a performance Saturday that he look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. You're like, yo, this boogeyman? What? This is not so. You gotta be careful. But this is what I'll say. Matias is one of them dudes that, to me, I've been around street dudes. Matias just look like one of them dudes. He's a no nonsense guy. Like, I don't think he just don't care. If there's 5 guys there, vamos pelear. I don't care. Y'all kill me, y'all kill me. So I think that's his mentality. So I'm expecting him to win. But Liam Paro is no chump. And he's not coming to be an opponent. He's gonna hit Matias because Matias is not hard to hit. So if Matias could take his power, it's going to be a long night for Paro because Paro's not going to be able to withstand that pressure and punishment for a 12-round duration. So if Paro could make Matias respect him with his power, then we got to fight, Johnny. We might see Casper the Friendly Ghost. We might not see that monster that we've been told he's this monster. So I expect Matias to go in there. I don't think the pressure is going to be a problem for him. In fact, I think he's going to embrace it. I think this is what he wants. I think it's like, yeah, about time, bro. Like me, y'all talking about Balanga, y'all talking about Zonda, but y'all forgot about me. I'm that guy. Okay. So Saturday, he must continue that trend. Whether he wins by knockout or not, he needs a good performance to say yes. Matias is still that guy. He's still the most dangerous guy at 140. Not particularly the best fighter, but just the most dangerous fighter at 140. And we will see Saturday, but I expect it to be a good scrap. You know, it's going to be a kind of a rock'em sock'em because I don't think, Liam Paro don't got the best footwork and I don't think his style is jab, jab, move, move. He's going to have to walk through fire, right? Like I said, there's certain fighters right now in boxing, Johnny, that I could tell you off the bat. Matias, Benevidez, and Better Beef. Off the bat. There's probably a couple of more. In order to beat these guys, you have to walk through fire to beat them, right?
Great
Do you
point.
get burned and die, or you come out with 3rd-degree burns? You're going to get burned regardless, but you survive it. So we're going to see what Paro brings, but I'm expecting Matias to win.
I agree. Great points, my brother. As always, you preaching. You know the deal. One thing I want to touch on is you're right. You're going to have to come to fight, and you're going to have to make him respect you. That's the only way. I like Paro. I do. I don't know if he's that guy that's going to make Matias respect him. You said it. I think that guys that will move and punch, I'd favor them over Matias, like the TOs. But the footwork for Paro, watching some of the pre-fight stuff, Paro looks like he's coming to try to make a statement. He's trying to, I think he's going to try to step to Subriel in front of his home crowd and take the fight to him. I think that's going to be a mistake. I think he's going to run into something. I think Matias he's the hardest hitter by far, pound for pound, at the 140 division. I don't know if anybody hits harder than him. Like you said, I think he's the most dangerous guy, not the most skilled guy. And I also think that the fact that nobody's really talking about him is going to motivate him. And I think he gets the job done. But this is going to be interesting for me. It really is. I think Puerto Rico is going to be rocking. But another place that's going to be rocking is Las Vegas. You got the MGM Grand, and I think this is the 100th, the anniversary of the 100th fight card that they have in the MGM Grand. So there's going to be a lot of other stuff going on. I wish I was there for Fight Week in Vegas, but PBC is putting together their second card with Amazon Prime, and the headliner is Tank Davis against Frank Martin, 2 undefeated guys at 135. I think that fight, I had mixed feelings about that fight. And we'll also talk about the co-main event. You got David Benevidez, the Mexican monster. You talked about him as guys having to walk through the fire. The guy he's fighting, which is a light heavyweight, natural light heavyweight, he's going to have to walk through some flames. Alexander Gvodzyk. That's going to be an interesting fight. And then the undercard we'll touch on as well. I think PBC is going to be putting together a good second Amazon fight card. I mean, so far, I think that they're getting it right. We'll see if this one delivers like the first one did when Fundora and Zhu fought in the main event. But getting back to Tank and Frank Martin, when I first heard about this fight, I was a little down in the dumps about it because stylistically, you got two counterpunchers. Well, not to mention the fact that I wanted Tank Davis to fight Shakur, but we'll talk about that another day. Stylistically, you got two counterpunchers, man. So again, Tank isn't that guy anymore. He's more methodical. He's gonna download some data. He's gonna wait for you to make a mistake. He's gonna try to set up some traps, and then bam, you already know what's gonna happen there. Frank Martin, though, again, another counterpuncher who's a good boxer. I don't know if he's gonna be willing to press the action like a normal Tank opponent will try to do, and then they get hurt over it. So I kind of felt like, I don't know, man, are we in for a snooze fest?
Wow. Again, like I said on the Subriel, this is the other one. Let's talk about it. Look, man, this is like it's stylistically, it's a style that they don't mesh well, right? But that's fine. That's fine.
Convince me why I'm wrong, though.
Yeah. So look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. We know Tank has that loyal to sleep style. See, Tank, this is what this guy is so smart. He doesn't mind mixing it up with someone he know can't hurt him, right? I've seen him getting in there with Santa Cruz. There was another fight that he's in there punching and he's getting hit, but he knew this guy can't hurt me. When he's in there with punches, he's very cautious. We saw the Ryan fight. We saw the Riley fight, right? We also saw the Pitbull fight where he was like, yo, oh man, this guy's better than what I expected. Plus he hurt his hand, so that kind of limited him on what he could have done. But regardless, he showed tools on his tool belt. Tank is just not a puncher. Now, Frank Martin, he a southpaw. He's big. He's strong physically. Not a big puncher, right? Because people in boxing, you could be physically strong, but that doesn't mean you're a puncher neither. I think we are going to have moments where we like, bruh, really? Like, what are y'all doing in here? Like, come on, I'm about to make me a sandwich. But listen, Tank is a fighter. He don't care. He's gonna strike when he knows, like a snake, man. He like a cobra. He gonna fill you out, and when it's time, bang, he's gonna hit you. To me, what Frank Martin needs to do, Johnny. Do you remember Madonna Mayweather won?
Yes. How
Madonna was out muscling Floyd, gave him no respect. And that's what he needs to do, because he's not going to out counter Tank. He's not going to outbox Tank. It's just not going to happen. He doesn't have that skill set. And, it's no disrespect to Frank, right? Remember, he started boxing late. Tank is just different. He's very seasoned, right? So you got to find other ways, man, right? If they don't let you in through the front door, where the windows at? Let's try to climb through there. So this is where Frank Martin, he needs to go in there and go like this to Tank. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to make it dirty in a clean way. Dirty in a clean way. Not hit in the back of the head, no low blows, but in there, little elbows to the chest, a little, forearm to the face. Let him know this ain't going to be an easy night, buddy. You just know you're going to have to earn this. And trust me, because I've seen Tank in fights where he complains a lot. Tank, referee, he likes always the so if I'm Frank Martin's team, bro, rough him up. And then at moments, let's go to the middle of the ring. I ain't scared of outbox, but he has to mix it up. Johnny, he definitely does, man. He just can't have a plain salad. He got to put croutons in there. He got to throw the corn, because if it's just plain salad, it's not going to work. He need to throw extra. He got to be dirty a little. Like I say, dirty but clean. And like I mentioned it. And at times, go in the middle. At times, I think he can outbox Tank. Not for a full 12 rounds. Absolutely not. And just keep Tank off balance. Those are fighters. When you fighting these elite fighters, you have to keep them off balance. Because if not, they download that data, like you said, and once it's downloaded, it's over for you. There's nothing you can do. So, regardless, me personally, I think Tank wins by decision. But I could see it where Frank Martin arguably gets dropped maybe once, maybe twice. I mean, Tank could stop him. We know that. Tank could stop anybody. But I think Frank Martin, he might play it too close to the vest, and he might get gun shy. This is why I would like to see him be aggressive and try to bully Tank and make it an inside fight. Because you got to remember, now we make it inside. He can't really get full leverage on those punches, right? For Tank. And like I said, Frank is the more physically fighter, stronger. So it'll favor him in there. Not too long neither, because Tank could punch, but
listen, great breakdown, my brother. I'm hoping for all the above. Sign me up. One thing I will say that I do believe is, based on some of the things that I've seen pre-fight, Martin doesn't seem intimidated by Tank at all. And one thing that he also pointed out, that Tank pointed out, is they sparred together before, and he actually hurt Tank with a punch in sparring. And again, take what you want out of sparring. It's a grain of salt. It's work. But Tank also, he said the same thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping for a good fight, not a snooze fest, not a game of chess where somebody's just trying to wait for the other guy to make a mistake and counter. I think to your point, I think it'll be like that in the beginning for the first couple of rounds, and I expect them to mix it up. And I fully expect, if they do, I think Tank can stop him. That's just my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the scorecards. If it does, I also see Tank winning as well. I just don't see anybody right now. Like you said, Tank is different. He's just different. And I just don't see anybody at that division right now that could beat him, at least not now, which takes us to our co-main event, the Mexican Monster, moving up in weight. I do like that, because he's not sitting around waiting for a fight with Canelo, which we all want, but we probably won't see anytime in the near future, at least. But he's moving up to light heavyweight. This is his first fight. Can he carry that speed and that power against a natural light heavyweight in Alexander Gvodzyk, who his only loss was to Arthur Benevidez? That's no knock, because everybody loses against Benevidez, but
and they lose by stoppage.
And they lose by stoppage, right? Because he's just like a Mack truck, and he hits like one. What do you anticipate in this? I mean, obviously everybody's thinking the Mexican Monster moving up in weight is just going to steamroll over this guy because of what he's done at 168. But it may get a little interesting. What do you see?
Yeah, man, absolutely, Johnny, man. In fact, this might be the fight that I'm most anticipating to watch, based on Benevidez making his debut at light heavyweight, right? And we know what David Benevidez brings. We just don't know what he brings at light heavyweight. And Alexander Gvodzyk, I'm the name botcher. It just
Gvodzyk, something like that.
Yeah, he comes from that Ukrainian school of boxing, but he's also a puncher. The guy has a lot of knockouts. So this is no walk in the park for Benevidez, right? So if he could go up there and steamroll Gvodzyk and win by stoppage, dominating, that's going to be a huge statement. But I really think that Benevidez does win this fight, but I don't think it's going to be as pretty as people expecting it. He has to understand that again, this guy, whether people want to believe it or not, is going to be actually the best fighter he's fought in his career. you know. And if he doesn't, if he goes in there focused, I like it, right? Because he's gonna turn this into a firefight. And I think Gvodzyk, he's more of a fighter where he likes to set up the knockout, right? He just doesn't gonna go in there and just gonna overwhelm you with punches. And no. So David is gonna probably make him fight a style that he doesn't want to fight. But what happens if David can't really hurt him, right? And that first punch he lands on David, David is like, oh, like, yo, this is different up here. So it's a very interesting fight. But I just think that David Benevidez, regardless, is one of the more special fighters in boxing today. And I believe that he's just not also just a punches and bunches guy, which it looks like. He likes to set up his fights, and he has a very good body attack, Benevidez. So, you know, again, like I said about these European fighters, a lot of them, they Sunday laundry to me, man. A lot of them, they just fold. But it's going to be interesting. I think Gvodzyk will go out on his shield if he gets stopped, because he's just not going to back down. But Benevidez, he just might be strong at 175 for himself, because I know he was cutting a lot of weight. No, I don't care what his father tells me, anybody tells me. He's a huge guy. So he had to cut a lot of weight. 175, I think it'll be more natural for him, and he'll be more comfortable, and he might be stronger. So I expect Benevidez to win, man. But I'm picking him to win by decision. I'm not by stoppage. And if he does, man, oh man.
That would be a big statement. In fact, if he does that, I doubt we see the Canelo fight anytime soon after that. If he just steamrolls and washes this guy. I mean, Benavidez is 28-0, 24 knockouts. Gvodzyk is 20-1, 16 knockouts, to your point. I mean, he can swat too. And let's not forget, he is the natural at that weight division. The only thing that worries me about this guy is he hasn't really been active the last couple of years. I think he's only fought one time in the last couple of years. Benavidez, I think, that will fill in fine at that weight, because to your point, I think that 68 can be a struggle. He's making it, but ain't nothing like making a weight a lot more easier than you're gonna make this one. I don't know if he'll be the stronger guy, but I definitely think he'll be the faster guy. And I think that's, you know, I admire his hand speed for a guy that big and his body attack. I think I'm going to take Benavidez in this fight as well. And I think this one will go the distance. I can't pick him to knock out a light heavyweight when this is his first fight coming up as light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But either way, like you, I'm looking forward to this fight. I think it might have the tendency to steal the show if I'm right about the main event. And trust me when I tell you, I hope I'm wrong. I'm a huge, I like Tank, like anybody else. But look at this undercard. I mean, it's stacked. I mean, I believe it opens up with Gary Antoine Russell, 17-0, 17 knockouts. We haven't seen this guy in God knows how long. In fact, I did a show with X a couple months back. He was on a milk carton. He was one of our milk carton guys.
Yeah.
He's fighting Alberto Puello, 20-0, 10 KOs. Tough dude.
Dominican, listen, man. Gary Antoine Russell. I spoke with him at the Ryan Garcia Haney weigh-in. Very cool guy, very humble. Gary Antoine's another guy, man. He don't play with his food. 17 night quills. They all night quills, and that extra strength. Like I say, the one when you in Walgreens, you got to hit the button so the supervisor come and open up the key. Yeah, I need that good shit. We got to lock this up. We can't, they'll steal all of this. So I think that's Gary Antoine Russell. He's that kind of guy, man. Alberto Puello, Dominican fighter. As we know, this era of boxing has a lot of Dominican fighters, but I think Puello might just be out his league a little bit. I don't think he's going to be able to keep Gary off him, nor have Gary respect him, with his power. I mean, I think he'll put up a good effort, but I definitely expect if Gary doesn't continue his 100% knockout streak, he wins this fight domination easily.
I agree. I think he continues. I think after this, he's 18-0, 18 knockouts. I mean, he can be a special fighter if he stays busy.
Correct.
There's something about those Russell brothers, man. It's in the genes, man. They can fight. And then on the second fight, we got Carlos Adames, I believe, against Terrell Goucher. real quick, who do you like in that one?
Yeah, look, Carlos Adames, he's the middleweight. I forgot which belt he has. I don't know if it's the WBA or WBO. He has one of those belts. He was elevated to the champion. So he's tough, man. Adames is a tough fighter. Terrell Goucher, he was an Olympian. He was a highly touted prospect. He just never really panned out. Losing this, he's getting close to the gatekeeper list, which is coming, by the way. It's coming, man. And I think Adames gets it done, man. But Goucher, he's game, man. He's a game opponent. He won't sit down because, like I said, this might not come again, this opportunity for a title for him. This might be his last chance. So I expect him to give it all. But Adames, I think he has something to prove at the middleweight division and let people know that, listen, I can be the best fighter here. So I expect Adames to win either late stoppage or, tough decision. But I'm picking Adames.
Same here. Elijah Garcia, man, the young sensation. This was a fight that was canceled in the first PBC card. It was supposed to be in the undercard of the Sebastian Fundora Tim Tszyu fight. He's fighting against Daivs, tough guy, step up fight. I'm excited about this one. I like Elijah Garcia.
Listen, I'm gonna say something, man. There's a lot of prospects, a lot of contenders. I like a lot of fighters, man. But Elijah Garcia, it was love at first sight, Johnny. It was love at first sight when I saw this kid fight. I said, damn, bro, this guy, damn. And when I found out his age, he was like 19. I think he's like 20 now or 21. I mean, you could double check for me, but I know he's very young. And this guy, he's one of those young fighters who fights like a gritty veteran. He fights like has 40 fights under his belt. He could box, he could punch, he could fight at a distance, he could fight on the inside, and he doesn't get flustered. He could take a punch. I mean, this guy is the real deal. And like you said, Karan Davis, he's no slouch, man. He's going to go in there and another one is going to come to bring it. But I think right now, Elijah Garcia, man, for those who don't know who he is or who've never seen him fight, check him out Saturday on the YouTube portion of the PBC Amazon card, which is free. That portion will be free for the people. Please watch him fight, guys, because this kid is the real deal. And I'm not even I know he'll be a world champion. I believe he's at 160 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. This kid is special. I think boxing is in a good place with these young up and coming guys. If they're groomed properly, they continue to mature and then they start fighting each other. Then we got something going on, man. But I mean, this card is stacked. Like I said, Cool Boy Steph will be on it. Stephen Fulton making his comeback from that in-away loss. He'll be fighting on that card. You got Mark Maxayo. He's fighting. I mean, it's a stacked card. At the end of the day, I think both of us will agree that we, the fight fans, are the true winners. Regardless of who wins and loses, we are the true winners. We are in for one hell of a treat Saturday. Like always, a Maniac, this was an absolute pleasure to have you here on the show with me. Where can my people find you again on social media? Because you be putting out some fire content, especially your previews and your recaps.
Yeah, man. First, man, Johnny, you already know, man. It's a pleasure, man. You're definitely one of the up and coming content creators / podcasters, man. You're doing your thing, man, and I like it. And be on the lookout for me and Johnny down the line. But we'll speak about that at another time. And man, you can find me on Instagram, DTHEE_boxing_maniac. And there you can find all my other handles on Facebook, on TikTok. I'm not on Twitter. I'm also on Threads. I don't really be on Threads as much, but yeah, man. And you know, also got my YouTube channel there. You know, just check it out, man.
For my viewers, if you're new to watching my videos, make sure you subscribe. This is how we do it up here at the Hangout Spot. Like the Maniac said, man, there's some things that we are cooking together. You know, we're going to be cooking something special, more than likely on live shows. So make sure you continue to tune in, because the dynamic duo, we're going to start doing this on a consistent basis. But this is your boy, Johnny, signing out from the Hangout Spot with my boy, the Maniac. Make sure everybody enjoys the fights this weekend, and I will talk to everybody soon.